So I'm Janelle, but everyone calls me Jimmy, and this is Jack, and we are in Manly in Whangaparāoa.
We embarked on this crazy adventure of building a house probably 3.5 years ago now, and have always wanted to build a house. I've always wanted to build a house. So here we are. We found this piece of land and jumped right in.
We had a little bit of a bad experience with an apartment that had no natural light, so coming here, probably the most key thing, right, was finding a section that was north-northwest facing, and then a design that kind of allowed just the house to be flooded with natural light, because we certainly experienced the opposite of that and the effects that has on your health. I just want our future kids to have, just a huge amount of land to run around in. So yeah, that kind of connection to the land as well.
So first time building, we were pretty unsure about the kind of process itself for building it. It's quite hard to sort of break into from the outside as just a layman. Joe and the team have sort of been there all the way from the design stage through to finishing, and have kind of guided us along the way, made everything super easy.
I also didn't understand where the costs came in, like what was going to exaggerate the costs versus what were your options to kind of pull costs back but still achieve the results that you want. I vividly remember Joe kind of like taking us through that, being like, hey, that option there would cost you heaps, but actually there's another way of doing it.
It was really clear to us early on when we started working with them that they were really strong at understanding the process and guiding us through it. Like it really became a lot clearer what we needed to do and stuff like that with Joe. So really strong like kind of project management aspects, and also just when we were on site it became clear that the kind of attention to detail and the like level of finish and stuff like that was also really important to both him and the team.
Right from the get-go, they were like very heavily involved in those conversations, which just kind of helped us build our confidence that actually the thing that was being designed for us was something we could afford. Like that was really important, because I don't think that not necessarily other builders have that capability kind of within the business.
Joe and Jitten were really good at like helping us almost redesign like large parts of the house so that we could get it back to the budget that we set in the beginning. So they were really like realistic, and didn't want us to be surprised at the end of the process with a massive bill or something that we hadn't been able to forecast for. So they were really good in that. An interesting insight into that COVID experience was that Joe and the team started really sort of responding to it quite quickly. So think about the market context, there's like a massive shortage of building products. We were like, what shortage? What product shortage? Like Joe and the team got everything ordered super early, like as soon as they got a sniff that there was going to be a problem there. We had all the timber on site that we needed. It meant that A, we didn't get hammered by the cost increases as we went through that process, and B, like they could keep building when they were able to be on site. So I think that was, it was really unique to that situation, but they were also really proactive in how they dealt with it. So you could take that problem and put it across any context, I think.
I don't know how many hours or days or weeks the team spent configuring our ceiling here, but yeah, it was one of those things that was almost off the cards for a while, right? I think we undernut about it because the costs definitely inflated the overall project costs. But yeah, I think overall we're just so pleased with the decision to clad the ceiling in cedar. As I say, a labour of love from the team, right? There was a huge kind of attention to detail to make sure that it's all laid out correctly and that it looks quite organic and natural. I think they hand selected each and every piece that went up there.
There are things in here that, go far beyond what the architects drew or what they thought was going to be the finished product. Pretty much the commitment to the craftsmanship aspect of it was like so prevalent through the build. Things that they picked up on site, things that they came up with a really awesome solution for us, and then made sure that we had the right tools to make a decision. I think people who want to build something that's not so cookie cutter and just kind of an off the plan off the plan type thing, like someone who wants to be part of the journey and the experience of actually building the house and making the decisions alongside the builder, rather than, you know, sort of picking colour X and Y and then that being their involvement. So we got a lot of pleasure out of going through that experience, of making everything like how we wanted it.
Yeah, someone who kind of wants to be consulted on every decision, because you are, and it's a lot of decisions, but we enjoyed that, and that's what we were wanting, right? And so I think to Jack's point, someone who's looking for that kind of bespoke experience where you've got a bit more flexibility.